You know what's difficult? Making money as a music producer or musician in general. But do you know what's not difficult? Losing money as a music producer or musician in general. Music production has really moved toward an online space over the last few years. This means more opportunities for everybody, but it also means more opportunities for you to get scammed. And I know there's a lot of young producers who are looking to make a career in music, so I'm making this video so you can avoid the mistakes that me and other producers have made in the past. So in this video, I'm gonna go over some scenarios you might come across, and then I'm gonna put them into 3 categories. The categories are scam, not a scam, and just not worth the money. And these scenarios are all real things that I've experienced or other producers have gone through, so this stuff definitely might happen to you. Alright, let's get into it. So this one is actually not too popular, but this is something that I felt for a couple years ago, so I thought I should add it in. And we're gonna call this one the catalog of curators. In this one, a website or a person is gonna offer you an email list of popular playlist curators in exchange for money. It's very straightforward. So in this dream scenario, you get the email list, you contact everybody there, you ask them to listen to your music, they all love your music, they wanna add your music to your playlist. The music gets on the playlist, it starts racking up streams, it starts going viral, Beyonce gets on the feature, then you get an IG model pregnant, and then before you know it, you're paying child support. The plan is foolproof. But in reality, I buy the email list, I see it's an Excel chart of the playlist curator's name, and then their email. And then all I'm doing is cold emailing people, asking them to listen to my music. And the worst thing about this one is I spent $300 on this email list. Oh God, I'm so stupid. You still respect me, right? So this one is not a scam because it did give me what I asked for, but this one is definitely not worth your money. It's basically like selling a list of celebrity addresses. I know where Drake lives, but that doesn't mean I can enter his front door. Not a big one, but still be on the lookout for it. The next one we're going to look at are paid collabs, also known as let's tap in, bro. In this scenario, a big producer will offer small producers a chance for them to work together. This is usually in the form of small producers sending them loops and then the big producers putting drums over them. And the reason this is so appealing is because big producers have more connections in the industry, meaning that the collab gives the smaller producer a chance to get a placement with the bigger artist. Now, if you guys been following me for a while, I made a video on how I spent over $1,200 on paid collabs. And I purchased collabs from both smaller producers as well as Billboard charting producers. And now that it's been 3 years since I've made that video, I can confidently say that was one of the biggest wastes of money I've ever spent. Based on my experience, this can either fall under not worth your money, or it can just be a straight up scam. Because one of 2 things are going to occur. Option number 1, after receiving the money, they're gonna flip the sample and then send that beat out to people. Unfortunately, that beat is not gonna get placed, which means you don't have a return on investment. And option number 2, after receiving the money, they just ghost it. Now, the reason this doesn't work is because, simply put, the chances of getting a placement with an artist are incredibly low. So these people are basically selling you lottery tickets for the chance to get struck by lightning on a hot summer day. And if you were like me back then, you might be thinking, oh, but maybe spending money is my way to get my foot in the door, and then after they listen to my melodies, they're gonna really like me, and then No, they just want your money. Alright guys, save your money. So in this next one, we're gonna talk about the impersonators, also known as the big fat phony. And this is probably the most common one you're going to come across. This is when somebody impersonates a popular rapper, music producer, A&R, label, and they use their reputation to leverage you into giving them money. They usually do this through a direct message or an email, and it's usually gonna sound similar to this.
Wagwan, it's me, Drizzy Drake, Young Money, Cash Money. I really like your beat, fire in G minor, 128 BPM.
No way, yo, thank you, man. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything you do for the city, and
Yeah.
I've been following you ever since you dropped Take Care.
Crody, you wanna be a part of my new album?
Of course, that'd be a dream come true.
I just wanna give a couple producers some Anita Max wings.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I just need a submission fee of $200 and then I'ma lock you in. My PayPal is drizzydrake@gmail.com.
And once you send that payment, you're most likely never gonna hear from them again. Now, I understand why this happens to so many people. If you're talking to your idol, you might get too excited and miss the red flags.
Oh, I'm talking to Drake!
Here's a couple things you should look out for. So first of all, the email. So usually in the email, their website is gonna be their domain name. So it's not gonna be johninterscope@yahoo.ca. It's gonna be john@interscope.com.
You can pay for articles where someone will write an article about you, and then they'll create a Instagram with pictures, highlights, and they'll say like writer at Complex or writer at Billboard. They'll reach out like, hey man, I really liked insert your latest release. Be like, I'd love to write an article about you. Swing them $50 right off the bat. PayPal account. It's just hilarious. They'll be like, Billboard articles at gmail.com.
make sure you do a quick background check. So look at their profile, see who they're following, see who's following them, look at their posts, or just do a quick Google search. Double check on other social medias. So if they hit you up on Twitter, maybe you want to verify with them on Instagram.
I started getting like these weird placement opportunity emails. I'm this big artist. I work with so-and-so. They say that I love this beat of yours. I really want to get it. I first asked them, could you DM me through Instagram just to verify your identity? But they said that wasn't professional, which I thought was kind of weird.
And if they ever ask for money or a fee, then that is a dead giveaway for a scam.
I said, how do I send payment? And they immediately responded. It was like a placement fee of like $150, and they asked for PayPal.
It's never like an egregious amount of money. It's always just like some change.
The one thing you should really take away from this is, if there really was a real opportunity for you to get an album placement or a hit single with a big artist, then we couldn't afford it. Now this next one we're going to talk about are fake numbers, also known as clout coins. This one is very simple. A person or a website is going to offer you growth in social media in exchange for money. And this growth can be in any metric, whether it's followers or YouTube views or streams or likes. And the reason people do this is so that that person can look popular, and then they can use their clout to gain leverage in whatever way they want. Basically attempting to fake it till they make it. Now there's a couple ways in which this is done, but the most popular one you're going to see are click farms, and this basically looks like one person operating a lot of phones so that you get that real engagement. So this one is definitely falling under the scam section. But you're probably wondering, if I pay $15 for 100 followers and I get that, then aren't they giving me what I'm asking for? Technically, yes, but any fake engagement goes against the terms and services of any social media platform. So even though you are getting what you asked for, it's going to be detrimental to your page later on. If they ever find out you're faking your numbers, your account is most likely going to be suspended or terminated. The best analogy I can give you guys is, imagine a dietitian offers you a service where they guarantee you can lose 30 pounds, and then once you get that service, all they do is just chop your leg off. You did get what you wanted, but it's at the expense of yourself. So you guys should definitely avoid this one. So the next one we're going to talk about are online courses, also known as how to be like me. I feel like people are very skeptical on this one, so I'm going to give you guys my personal opinion on it. Now, online courses are very interesting because it can actually fall under all three sections. It could not be a scam, it could be a scam, or it can also just not be worth your money. But how can you tell if it's one or the other? So first, if you bought a course and then you learned something, congratulations, that is not a scam. But if a course is over-promising what you can achieve in it, then that's most likely a scam. So for example, if a music producer course promises you're going to get placements and be a multi-platinum producer, and then once you get the course, all the videos are just about waking up at 5 a.m. and taking cold showers, then that's most likely a scam.
That's cold.
And lastly, it's not a scam if it delivers on its promises, but you're still unsatisfied with the product. So for example, if I get a baking course and this course teaches me how to make a cookie, and this cookie ends up tasting like then it's not worth the money, but it's not a scam either. Now, for those who don't know, I have a couple courses as well, Pro Level Beats and Pro Level Production, and I'm gonna be super transparent with you guys right now. Personally, I think these two courses are either gonna fall under not a scam or not worth your money. So why do I think that? So first of all, I'm not over-promising anything. I'm not guaranteeing you guys are gonna win a Grammy. The dream I'm selling is very simple, just to be a better music producer than you were when you started. In terms of the content, a lot of the things I talk about are just very objective. Things like music theory, rhythm, chord extensions, harmonies, bass lines. Now, the reason I don't think this is a scam is if you are a beginner, intermediate producer, then this is an absolute goldmine of information from top to bottom. It's very concise and it's very structured. But if I give this course to somebody like Charlie Puth, who already has a lot of musical knowledge, then he might not learn as much from it. So in his case, it might not be worth the money. And if that's the case for some of you guys, that is why we have a refund policy. So online courses are definitely a mixed bag. So if you do want to get one, just make sure you do your research beforehand. This scenario we're going to call the pay to play list. And in this service, they're going to give you a guaranteed spot on their playlist if you give them a certain amount of money. Now, initially, this sounds really good because playlists are obviously one of the best ways to gather streams for your song, but it's actually not that good in this scenario. Now, this is not a scam, but this definitely falls under the not worth your money section. Because if you think about it, the most important part of a playlist is the fact that it's curated. This is so that every song is consistent and fits a certain vibe. And if the only barrier of entry is a certain amount of money, then you're going to end up with a bad playlist. For example, imagine a high-end nightclub. There's always going to be a bouncer at the door to make sure not everybody gets in. He's basically acting like a playlist curator, because if you let everybody in, you might get children inside, you might get Mr. Johnny Fedora over here, or you might even get too many girls in the club. Ugh, who wants that? Ugh, disgusting. Now, I'm ashamed to say that this is a service that I personally spent money on. I can actually pull up the receipts for you. So this was a music distribution service called Ditto, and then this was their chart breaker service. And you can see here on May 2017, I spent $100 to get my song on a playlist. And as soon as I got my song on that playlist, I just realized who the hell would want to listen to this.
Hey, do you want to listen to some music? Yeah, sure. Like, what are you thinking? We can do some disco pop vibes or classic rock vibes. What about people who paid $100 vibes? Ooh, I really love how this artist paid $100. Yeah.
So those are some common music producer scams you might come across. I know there's probably a bunch that I missed, so if you guys know any more, feel free to comment that below. I'm sure that's gonna help lots of people watching this video. And if you've been personally scammed or you know somebody who has been, I feel like people don't say this enough. Don't beat yourself up too much. You're not stupid for getting scammed. If you guys are similar to me, then we are very passionate towards music. And I'm willing to do anything to pursue this passion and make this work and live out my dream. But unfortunately, there are some bad people out there who know that, and they're gonna use that knowledge to take advantage of us. But that's really all there is to it. So if you do get scammed, make sure you cut yourself a bit of slack because it's not your fault. But that's it for now. I love you guys and I'll see you guys soon.
If you have any suggestions, leave a comment. If you like this video, leave a like. If you really like this video, subscribe. If you didn't like this video, leave. Just leave. Get out of here.